Nimbus is a kind of a tricky map in my opinion as Protoss player, because like you can go up to 3 bases relatively easy, but it's an old story. But that 4th base is so far away, and that obviously makes it a good map for Madals as well. But why don't you just go ahead and introduce the players, and then we probably have a couple of minutes to theory craft about it.
Well, spawning up in the top left-hand position, he represents Vega Squadron, won the first game, wasn't quite able to make it work in game number 2. It's DmC. And his opponent up to the top right, the Red Zerg, playing for Team Acer, leveling out this series, forcing us into this ace game. He's Bly.
How do you like this map, Madals? Tell us.
I get really mixed experiences on this map, especially on games I cast. They tend to go one of two ways. You can get relatively long games on them, but most of the time, especially in PvZ, I just see Zerg players end up getting too greedy, thinking that they've got an easy time, and then a Protoss player getting really nice into this little area over here, 6 piling up on the high ground, and then there's just wave after wave warping in, and with good force fields, that 3rd base is dead and gone.
Oh. This is an interesting opening, by the way, as he's opening up with a 9 pile and 13-14 forge. Obviously something we see very often on maps like King Sejong Station, but on Nimbus you don't see this very often. Most of the time it's just a nexus into gateway. Unfortunately for DmC, he's scouting in the wrong direction, but by the looks of it, Bly is going to go double hatchery before spawning pool. So Madals, are you ready for some cannon shenanigans?
I hope it works for DmC this time, because even though he didn't try last game, it was his plan. It's a risky move doing this. He's going to head straight on over there. Bly shouldn't be able to... Well, he's not going to be able to see. He's in the overlord the wrong way, so that's an advantage for DmC. He has already chucked down that nexus. Not going to be actually hatch pool. It's going to be hatch into pool from Bly.
Which is... and then it makes it interesting that he decided to go with his hatchery on the low ground. It doesn't matter that much, and it's going to give him slightly better creep spread, of course. And, you know, in a way, this makes sense. It's a little bit more vulnerable to a few things. And if DmC would have scouted this immediately, there is a very realistic scenario where he cannons that hatchery, and Bly will be forced to cancel it. But then again, he can cancel it, and then he just takes the hatchery and is natural. And is he really that far behind then? I guess not. So in the end, it will work out and should give him slightly better creep spread. And the most interesting thing for now is going to be the follow-ups. But I guess DmC is not going to go with his random 3 Zealot march across the map with +1 strategy, because I have the feeling that's something you do once in a series, and if it goes as poorly as it went on King Sejong, I don't think he wants to do it again.
I don't think he's going to be going for the 3 Zealots either. They were very happy Zealots, though, until they...
Yeah, man, they were having a good time. They were having a blast. I'm wondering what they were listening to, because they obviously had some good music. You need it when you go for a hike on King Sejong.
3 people going for a hike, though. And it was the way they were following each other. They could have gone, like, 2 by 2 at least, and just a little bit of conversation. That's what you don't get in the iPod generation on a nice walk.
I wonder who was the 3rd wheel of all the Zealots. You know, there obviously 2 Zealots are closer with each other than the other one, so there's always the other one out.
I reckon it was the middle one who kind of like just muscled himself in between the 2, just to like be as awkward as possible. Like, you will pay attention to me.
No, in the end, none of them were very successful. No. It's an interesting wall, by the way, Madals by DmC, because this is right now a full wall off, but he's going to clean up these destructible debris, and then he will still be able to leave his base without killing any of his buildings. But indeed, most of the time when Protoss players do this, it's because they want to hide something, and they definitely don't want to move out with units. And we see the Stargate go down. Bly will be able to scout this in the near future. There's an Overlord getting close to it. It's not there yet, but might be able to spot it pretty soon, actually. So good news for Bly, a little bit unfortunate for DmC, but definitely not the end of the world. What are you expecting of the Stargate, Madals? I want to hear your take on things.
I'm really hoping that we're going to get Phoenix out. I'm such a massive advocate of Phoenix up against Zerg, mainly due to the fact that it's got more long-term utility from it. You can, firstly, deny pretty much all vision from a Zerg player, picking off the Overlords. You can still harass really nicely, and it's not as committed as Oracles. Oracles are kind of, they have to do well, otherwise you're just kind of there with them until the late game where you can get some good revelations down. But looks like DmC is going to be fulfilling all our caster wishes today. Goes for a Phoenix straight off the bat.
Yeah, I agree with most of the things you said, other than, you know, there are some Protoss players who are really that good that an Oracle doesn't really have to do that much damage immediately. You can also just make an Oracle and be satisfied with 2-3 drones, and then just keep it alive for Revelation and just scouting throughout the entire game. That sort of works. In the old days I used to think exactly like you, but then all these good Korean Protoss players, they just proved me wrong. But it doesn't change the fact that I'm also a bigger fan of the Phoenix. It's always been a unit that I carry very close to my heart, and it's just a fun unit to play with, and it's a fun unit to watch in action. And above all, anybody who plays Protoss will know that conflict feeding, if you have a Stargate and you have 5 Phoenixes on the map, you're just a little less worried about that Madals twitch. And let's be honest, that's one of the most annoying things in this matchup.
It's already
Is that going to be a Warp Prism build, by the way? Is he going to follow this up with a Prism?
Well, he has got the robotic facility, and looks like you're bang on the money there, Rotti.
Yeah, this is a cool build. This is something that Zest and Hero have done multiple times in the past. You use the Phoenixes to clear out these Overlords, and then you just start warping in Zealots with a +1 upgrade out of 7 or 8 gateways. And it's hard to scout for a Zerg play, because of course those Phoenixes take care of the Overlords. The most annoying thing for DmC is the way that Bly spawned. He has creep spread pretty much everywhere, so it's going to be very difficult for this Warp Prism to go undetected. But this is a cool build, can work. This is the type of build that I like to do on ladder as well. And I'm very curious to see how it will work out for him. Is there a Roach Warren, by the way? Yes, there is. Ah, Bly. Well done by Bly. It's very important. Oh, he's making 9 roaches. That's really good news.
Trying to look where he got vision of this from, if he even got any vision of it. No, doesn't look like he has. He's just expecting something sneaky to be coming out of this. Sees the Warp Prism now, of course. 4 Zealots unloading. First few roaches.
Those 9 roaches are game savers. Those 9 roaches are absolutely crucial over here, Madals, and you're about to see why.
Couple of lifts that will negate the effectiveness of some of these roaches. The Zealots trying to move in, but already this roach production is through the roof. We're sitting at 8 roaches on the field, 12 more on their way. The Zealots just really aren't any match for this. They're getting slaughtered out on the field, and while the Phoenix are doing all they can, trying to pick off some of these Overlords, the Queen count is through the roof as well, up at 5 of them. Just picking apart everything that they could, and DmC deals next to nothing with that push. He's picked off 6 Overlords and 2 roaches. That's all.
Yep, and I'm going to lose his Warp Prism as well. What a brilliant call there by Bly to make those 9 roaches. It really shows that he's become such a more experienced Zerg player over the years. In the old days, whenever Zerg players didn't see anything, they're just kind of like, you know, whatever, I can make drones because nothing is really heading my way yet, so I got time to react. And then stuff like this always catches you off guard. This time it didn't. Bly didn't see anything. He saw Phoenixes. I think he did see... No, he never actually saw the robotics facility, but it's just like, alright, I have not seen anything at all. I could be stubborn here and try to skip my Roach Warren. I could even be more stubborn and just not make any roaches. But he's like, you know, if I make 9 roaches now, they will be useful. And worst comes to worst, I just sacrifice them on the 3rd base, maybe kill a couple of probes, take out a few...
Oh, we've got engagement coming in the natural base actually, Roddy.
Yeah.
And good force.
He's in such a good position already.
Down goes that wall, in come the roaches. This is not looking comfy for DmC. Gonna lose those sentries very quickly. There are 2 immortals out, but there's just nothing supporting them at this stage. They're gonna get focused down quickly and easily. Bly massively ahead in terms of supply at this stage. Photon overcharge not really gonna be helping against this volume of roaches as they just come barreling up into the natural. Phoenix is gonna try and grab some lifts, but it's not gonna be enough. GG's called, and Bly will take this 2-1.